Hi, my name is Riley Allen. This is my review of the 1997 movie Air Bud. We start off with this clown, Norm Snively, who's working a birthday party with his dog, who he doesn't treat very well, beating him with newspapers. The party goes wrong, and he gets fed up with the dog, so he's going to get rid of him and send him to the pound. But on the way to the pound, he didn't latch the truck bed well enough, so the dog cage, which had the dog Buddy in it, fell into the road. He was very nearly killed by our main family, widowed Jackie, her son Josh, and daughter Andrea. Andrea isn't that important in this movie. Josh is the main character, though. We learned that the father was a test pilot and he was killed. That sucks. So Josh is starting his new school, and his mom signs him up for a band, I guess. And he's playing, I think, the trombone. He wasn't very good at it. I don't think he was too bad for someone who was apparently, I believe it's implied, never picked up a trombone before. So, I mean, there's that. He loves sports. And while he shows up to the basketball tryout, he does not play and ends up becoming the team manager, aka the team bitch. The water boy. Does the team's laundry. He ends up finding this hidey hole, basically. I think it's a basketball court by an old church. And that's where he finds Buddy the dog. He eventually feeds it and manages to convince it to trust him and ends up bringing it home, where he gives him a bath. And he attempts to smooth it over with his mom to convince him, only for Buddy to knock down the basketball and basically waste, I don't know how many dollars worth of paint. But there was not a can of paint that was in that room that was not knocked down. And that mom was not pissed enough, in my opinion. Well, she puts her foot down and says they're not keeping the dog. And Josh tries to convince her. And he manages to haggle out 2.5 weeks. 2 weeks and a couple days till Christmas. He puts up posters of the missing dog, and Buddy's just tearing as many of them down as he could. Josh befriends the school maintenance janitor, whatever, Arthur Chaney, who was a former professional basketball player, but when Josh attempts to get him to sign his basketball card, he says, yeah, that's not him, only to be confirmed, like, yeah, that's him a few moments later, because the next scene is him just absolutely having hoops, yeah. We also learned that Buddy can play basketball too, and better than poor Josh. The coach asks Arthur if he knows where the boys' lockers are, because they have 2 spots for the openings on the team now. And Arthur is a bro and slips a tryout notice into Josh's locker. Josh shows up and, he kills it. He gets on the team. He basically benchwarms almost the entire game, and then Buddy comes. And it's a whole thing. He's beloved by the school, and the principal is all for making him the mascot. But then we see that Josh befriended this boy named Tom, I think his name was, and he's getting just absolutely smacked in the face by the coach who's throwing basketballs dead at his head. Ball after ball. And caught by the principal, coach was immediately fired. And then Josh, of course, repaying Arthur's bro moment, gets him the job as the PE teacher. Eventually, though, Buddy is made the mascot of the school, which eventually gains national or local television spots. And of course, Snively finds out and attempts to reclaim him, I guess, because he sees a money opportunity. Josh proceeds to have a valid crash out. Buddy's like his one good thing he's had since his dad died. So, a valid little crash out. Not so valid as he goes to Norman's house, breaks Buddy out, and basically runs him off. Runs him far away, then runs him off, and then dips. He gets that basketball card of Arthur Chaney back from the coach, signed with the quote that he told Josh earlier in the movie, "Play with your heart." And we have the final game. And of course, it's a sports movie, so it comes down to the last second. They of course win. Buddy, of course, played a decent part because the team he was their Hail Mary. 2 members got injured, so they needed to call in the reserve of Buddy. And they checked the rule book. Then there's nothing that says a dog can't play, because why would that need to be a rule? Of course it's not in the rule book. Why would that need to be stated? I can just imagine the parents of the opposing team just avoiding eye contact with their children after this. You got beat by a dog. There was a dog in the opposing team and you lost. He doesn't even have opposable thumbs. One of the opposing players was a guy named Larry something. And he was originally part of the Timberwolves, which is the team Josh is on and Buddy's on. But his father was pissed off that he got pulled and benched for like half the game because the coach, Arthur Chaney, thought that he was playing too lone wolf. So he wanted to give other people a chance, I guess. And the father didn't like that. So he, I guess, switched schools and had him on a new team. For fuck's sake. And then, this winning moment, this was nice. This was a very good moment. This could have very well been the end of it. But, I guess they realized, we got like 12 more minutes of runtime. What can we do? Well, we can bring back Snively and have everybody's favorite movie scene. A court scene. Now, I gotta give it to him. This scene was actually pretty funny. The judge comes in, and he does not want to be there, and he says, "A custody case of a dog." All right, we're not gonna make this any more of a joke than it already is. And here comes Norman Snively. Now the doors have already closed, the judge has already arrived, and Norman's already late, and Snively's already late. And what does this dude show up in? Full clown regalia. I'm sorry, dude. I know that's your occupation. I know that, maybe that kind of helps with your case, but, he didn't have any other clothes? You didn't even need to wear a suit or something. You just needed to wear, like, a clean, nice shirt, some pants. But full clown regalia? I don't give a shit what kind of case he has. That's gonna take away from it. Anyways, Arthur comes in and talks about man's best friend, and the judge agrees to let the dog choose, and he chooses, of course, Josh. And the cops take away Snively, I guess. overall, I really like this movie. I also like that in the beginning it showed Snively holding a newspaper threateningly Buddy, and then later on, once he's with the Frams, he starts stealing the newspapers. I'm assuming just in case, to prevent them from being used against him. This movie was pretty good. And also, even better because I'm pretty sure Buddy was actually a real dog and he could really play basketball. So yeah, adds to like the spectacularness of it. Overall, I think I'm gonna give this 8 out of 10. Thanks for watching the video. Leave a like, comment, subscribe if you want, and I'll see you in the next video.